Hello, hello. Hello, hello. How you guys doing? Nice of you to join me. Let's see if I can get this light angle changed a little bit. I have a new lamp finally. The thing I've been talking about doing forever. So it's going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be a lot less yellow because I got one of the bulbs that has like a neutral light spectrum that it gives off or whatever. So like the lamp I had before was just basically like 60-watt bulb, which if you look at them really closely, they're like tinted yellow. So no more of that. That's good. It is about time that I made that upgrade. It's a light that had. It's also got this like awesome organizer thing on it, so it's like freeing up some desk space too, which is nice. I've actually been waiting for this to do the video I've been talking about for a long time about doing of showing how I have my workspace set up. So I'm going to be doing that probably, I don't know, this weekend, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna try to film that this weekend because I should have some quiet time where I actually like record a video. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. I guess it won't be a stream. It'll just be a video I post on my YouTube. So so I'm starting out with this little. Well, it's not super little, but it's based off of the thumbnail I posted to advertise the stream. Been drawn on these canvases. I bought a pack of like cheap canvas boards to like experiment with. So I've just got like a fine tip Sharpie that I'm drawing on that with. Just to try something a little bit different. Kinda like it. I'm in general trying to do some like bigger pieces, so these have been focusing on like faces and stuff, I guess. I don't know. It's always good to try different stuff, even if it's, you don't end up doing things that way, like ever again. Like, I don't know how often I'll do this, but it's different. It's something. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting super rambly. How you guys doing anyway? Glad you could make it. If you guys, I don't know if you guys have any, if you guys like the quality, I don't know if it's like darker than it usually is or what. It's hard for me to tell. Would be more, I don't know if there's a first part to that comment that I may have missed. But I turn my, oh, okay, good. Thank you. I turn my brightness down on my phone when I stream, so I don't use as much battery, and it's all an effort to like keep my phone from overheating like it's done before. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but it shouldn't. It's finally getting cooler here in the desert, so hopefully that helps, if nothing else. Like we might actually have like a brief winter before it gets hot again in like, I don't know, probably February. Yeah, my phone does overheat a lot, I know. It's really obnoxious. I have an iPhone 4S. It's secondhand, so it's been through the ringer, you could say. But just in general, like, with a like hot lamp and me spewing all this hot air, it heats up. So yeah, I actually quite like the iPhone 4S. It's a nice phone. It's actually the first iPhone I've ever owned, so It works very well for recording, which I'm very happy about. I also really like the built-in time-lapse feature. If you guys don't know or haven't seen my time-lapse videos, that's what I use to record all my time-lapse videos. In case you guys are curious, because I've gotten a handful of people asking like what app I use to do time lapses, and there's just a built-in feature that I use. It's really convenient. So use what you got, I say. Um, I've found that the ears on my characters have been getting bigger over time. I don't know exactly why that is, but I like it. I don't know, something about big ears is just like charming. I don't know. Like kind of takes the risk away from drawing ears and just draw these big round ears. I'm drawing a big-eared girl with a big-eared hat. A hat with even bigger ears. I don't know, I meant it to be like a parody of like the Mickey Mouse hat. But it's like a bear. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know, guys. Like I can't explain it, I just like do stuff. It's like the ideal way to do art is to just like do stuff. Like don't worry about it making sense. Unless you're like world building, because that's different. But if you're just like drawing for fun, don't worry about it making sense. Just like draw. I don't know about Jackson Pollock, 'cause that's like that guy is like a totally different philosophy with art that I don't always agree with, but yeah, just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. I can't decide. I'll do like I want to do like creepy little like beady eyes. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I genuinely love the Shia LaBeouf motivational speech. Like genuinely, like not in an ironic way at all. Like I very much like it, and it is very much motivating to me because, like, it's true. The only obstacle in the way of you and like what you want to do is you. And like yeah, you know start arguing semantics and stuff, and you'd be a little bit right, but like within reason, you really can do anything you put your mind to. It most of the time just requires like hard work, but especially with art, I think, and just like being creative in general. Like if you want to get better at drawing, all you have to do is draw more. So just do it. Don't make excuses. Don't say after this or that. Just do it. I'm so lazy sometimes. Like there are times I could be drawing, and I totally should be drawing. I'm not, and I just think of Shia LaBeouf screaming at me, and then like that helps me do it. I don't know what's in this belt. It's reminding me right now of like Chewbacca's nondescript metal things on his like what do they call that? It's like a bandolier. When you have like a ammo style belt that's like slung across your chest called a bandolier. But I always thought the design was so funny because they're just like if you look up close on them, like the original costume, it's like they really are just like metal rectangles. Like there's no like seams or anything on them, or no like latches or buttons. They're just like metal rectangles. I have no idea what they're intended to be. I don't know if that's been like explained anywhere. So if it is, please like send a link to me on Twitter or something. But I always found it, funny that it's like just these nondescript, seemingly pointless metal things like on his belt. But I mean, it's Star Wars, so they could like have a hidden button on them and they like unfold into something. I don't know. But I've always just kind of been like curious about it, I guess. Yeah, I'm drawing this in Sharpie. It's like ultra fine, which is like the least ultra fine pen ever. I mean, it is just it's close to like an '08 in like a micron, which is one of the biggest ones you can get. So it's like nowhere near ultra fine, but for a Sharpie, it's ultra fine. I'd say that's the closest. But the thing about these pens, it's like they draw really well on this like canvas board. They don't smear or anything, which is super nice. But if you draw on actual like paper with this, like drawing paper, the ink, it's permanent ink, so it like really feathers and like almost your line almost like becomes blurry as you draw it. So it's not practical for drawing on like normal paper, but for like drawing on like cardboard or something, it's awesome. Or as you can see, canvas. So yeah. Yeah, Sharpie actually makes a fine liner style pen now. I don't know if I just got them to try them out. I don't know if you guys have seen these. It's called like Sharpie Pen. And I tried them briefly, and I'll probably actually start drawing with them a bit more. But they're close. They're pretty similar to like a micron. And I'd say the size is like an '03, I'd say. Um, they don't use the same ink as like the regular Sharpies, which is what I was disappointed about. They don't use the regular like permanent style ink, which is what I had hoped that they would. It's still supposed to be like water resistant and archival and blah blah blah, but it's not the same like permanent Sharpie ink that comes in all the other Sharpies. So that was a little bit disappointing. But for like I did like a little like 2 minute doodle with it, and from what I did, I quite like the pen. It's pretty solid for that kind of like fine liner style pen. I don't know if you call it a technical pen, but I think fine liner is an apt description. Also, thank you. I did see that you said that you were liking this. I'm liking it too. I say archival because it's when you're talking about like archival ink, it's saying like the root of the word is archive, so something that can be like archive, like it'll last a long time. So archival ink means that it's fade proof, and that if you draw on a piece of paper and put it in a drawer, then if you come back to the drawer 50 years later, the ink is still gonna be there. It's not gonna be super faded or anything like that. And usually archival inks tend to be like waterproof and fade proof and fancy stuff like that. So I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I'm pretty sure I'm right just based on logic. So I guess there could be a chance that I'm wrong, but I doubt it. Hate saying that. Like, I don't know if I'm right, but I'm probably right. Kind of make me sound like a dick, but I'm probably right. the logic is sound anyway, and that's what matters to me. Well, yeah, I'm doing commissions. Well, I mean, so here's the thing. I'm kind of always doing commissions. Like, I very rarely turn down a commission. I don't think I've actually turned down a commission. I've turned down freelance projects, but I rarely turn down commissions. Um, I just don't advertise them. Like, I have enough people that just offhandedly ask if I'm doing commissions and then proceed to get commissions that I don't often have to advertise. If I'm like hurting for money or something, or there's like a bill I need to pay that's like unexpected that I haven't budgeted for, then I'll advertise commissions. But hey, if you want a commission, email me. It's in my email's in my profile on pretty much all my social media, so um, I believe it's on my profile here on Periscope too. So if you just go to my profile, you should be able to find my email. And I'm also selling. I'm gonna sell this drawing. Like I said, it's an 8x10 canvas board. $45 if you want it. And also, if you want it, please email me. And that all my commission prices include free U.S. shipping too. I charge $10 extra for international shipping because the way I ship stuff, like for in between size commissions, stuff that's like 8x10 or 9x12, around that size, I ship them flat. I don't put them in tubes. But because I ship them flat, I have to file a customs form because it's like a product that's being sold, so I have to declare it in customs, and it usually costs between $8 to $9 to file that customs form. So that's why I charge $10 extra for international outside the U.S. because I'm based in the U.S. Yes, I do mail the physical copy. So I draw traditionally on paper, so that's like what you're paying for. Digital commissions have always been kind of an interesting thing to me, where you deliver like a digital file, and I get it, because some people work digitally, and so there's no like physical file physical object, to send. But I think it's like an interesting thing that you're like I feel like if you're doing digital commissions and you're sending the person who purchases the commission the digital file, then you shouldn't at least post the high resolution version of the file anywhere. Like you can post like a condensed version with like something that would look okay in web but like wouldn't look good if you printed it. I think the person that purchases the commission should have like exclusive access to the high resolution version. At least if I did digital commissions, that's how I would run it. I don't know. That's kind of a random thought. But yeah, I draw traditionally on paper, so I like to send people the actual thing. Because it's like, I think having a piece of frameable art is just so much cooler. Like, no offense to digital artists, but... because I know you don't really have a lot of options if you're a digital artist, but... owning the original is something. And like, I base my rates off of like how much time it takes me, and just to get an idea, like something that would take me about an hour and a half would be like an 8x10, somewhere between like 8x10 to 9x12 of like a character. If there's like a super like detailed background or like extra characters, then I start charging more. But I usually, like my baseline example that I give is like an 8x10 or like 7x11 character drawing, ink, not colored. I start at $50. And for getting the physical copy, and free US shipping. I think that's a pretty good deal. And that's what I value my work at for something like that. So, you know, Christmas is coming up, so need a commission, hit me up. I could use the extra cash for the holidays and you get a present out of it. It's like a win-win. I just did, if you guys saw that, either the time lapse or the actual photo of, I think it was the most recent thing I posted. Unless I posted something I don't remember. Of the like girl with the, she was like leaning on like the two katanas and there was like a bug guy behind her. That was a commission. That was a $60 commission. Because there was an extra character in there, but not like a super fancy background. I don't know if you're watching now. Guy who purchased the commission. I didn't ask him if it was okay to name him as the purchaser of that commission. I assume it would be fine, but yeah, if you like that, I mean that's pretty much what you can get for that kind of money. And he, well, you know he's a he anyway, but he those commissions are the most fun because he said like what he liked about my art, and it was like didn't have a super specific idea, and so I was like, well, you know, like the most merit commission I could possibly draw is like a half-naked girl hanging out with a bug. So that's what I did. But yeah, email me, and if you want something random, like I can do random. Like don't worry about not having a specific idea because I can do that. If you say like I want something inspired by this anime, then I can totally do that too. Like they're pretty much like no limits on what I'll draw. Pretty much the only rule I have is if what I'm drawing would be illegal in real life, I'm probably not going to do it. I don't know what I'm going to draw in the background here. Let's draw some like shadowy people with ears. That's cool, right? That's what the kids are into these days. I don't know. Whatever takes me in the moment. Yeah, Maddie, I see you. If you wanna email me, we can work something out. Cause I know you're doing me a favor, so I can do you a favor. Let's just do some like creepy toothy smiles. If I don't like them, I'll just go back over them. "40 pages of a sketchbook. That's kind of cool. That'd be a kind of fun thing to do. I don't know if there'd be anybody here to be interested, but you may know that I sell the original copies of my sketchbooks. And the one I'm working in right now, the one that actually has all my Inktober stuff in, has already been claimed, but I'm almost done with that one. I'm doing like the last requests in that one, like the Armored Zelda that you may have seen was a request in that sketchbook. But that also means I'll be starting a new one, so if you're interested in owning one of my original sketchbooks, then since it's quite a large chunk of my artwork, and I usually spend between a month to 2.5 to 3 months on them, depending on how fast I'm moving and what I'm working on. But I charge, I mean, if you ask me, the owner or the creator of the sketchbook, it's quite a steal, but at face value it's a lot of money. I usually charge $350 for my original sketchbooks, and that's, I think there's 62 or 63 sheets of paper, so front and back, I normally do, 90% of the time I draw on the front and back of the pages. So that's like between 100 and 120 pages of my sketches. I know I should charge more. I've heard that, and yeah, I mean, but like some of the pages are like pretty short. Like some of the pages will be full of like just super rough thumbnails that took me like just a few minutes. Other pages, I'll spend an hour on. But for the sake of balancing how much time I invest into the book to how much return I get monetarily, I also factor in stuff like giving people a good deal, because I want to do that. And I don't want to charge $600 for a book and never sell it. I'd rather charge $350 and sell more of them, like I'd rather put more of my work onto people's shelves that they can treasure and gain inspiration from and stuff like that. So I know I should charge more, but to me, it's fair compensation. And also considering that I scan them and sell them on Gumroad to make a little bit extra money too, like, I factor that in also. I don't feel like I'm being cheated at all, so I think that's key. And I do, well, the digital ones, I sell the digital copies of the sketchbooks on Gumroad, and they're usually between $2 to $4. If I have like a exclusive thing that's like 30 pages, I do like $1. But I always do the like name your own price type of thing with a minimum, so I do like $2 name your own price. So if you want to pay a little extra and, send a little bit of money my way, then I always appreciate that. Yeah, if you go on Gumroad and search for Merrick Jaraki or search for, I believe my Gumroad name, my Gumroad store is called Shark Baby or something. I should change that to my name to make it more searchable, but also if you go to my Twitter profile, my pinned tweet, like the tweet that always shows up at the top of your profile, is always a link to my Gumroad, so you can check it out there to find my store.
Are you streaming?
Yeah. Are you gonna come interrupt me?
Yeah. Is Abby listening?
I don't know.
Hi, Abby.
That's like super creepy.
I know. I don't know if she's watching, but
Well, she may not be, but like everybody who's not Abby is like, uh-oh. Who's Abby? What did she do?
Or maybe there's like a lot of Abbies and they feel special.
I don't know.
What are you drawing?
It's evil Mickey Mouse in the
Too
background.
much Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah, I've been watching that movie like once a day.
Just wait, you're going to be drawing evil Baymax. I'm going to sleep.
Okay, good night.
Okay.
Love you too. To put that experience into context, because that might have been strange. One of my wife's coworkers confessed to her that she watches like all of my Periscope streams. So she is potentially calling her out if she's here. So Abby, if you're here, I hope that was super awkward. Actually, I really don't hope it was like awkward for you, but anyway, I'll move on. Yeah, my son is super into Nightmare Before Christmas. I think I mentioned that. I've been watching that movie like once a day. And he asks me as soon as the movie is over if he can watch it again. And I'm just like, tomorrow. So it's been like a once a day thing. And not that I don't like absolutely love that movie, because I absolutely love that movie. So it's probably one of the more bearable movies to watch every day, because I really do enjoy it. But it's still like, the song has, all of the songs have been like stuck in my head simultaneously for the last like 2 weeks. Yeah, definitely. There are definitely worse things than that he could be obsessed with. So I'm like, I have a hard time complaining about it, because I was the same thing. I was the same way when I was a kid. I was utterly obsessed with that movie. And I would probably watch it every day if I could when I was a child. So I totally get it, and it's totally like nostalgic for me too. So I really can't complain about it. But my son is 2. So he's like, I mean, he's like, he doesn't really understand everything that's going on like in the movie, but he's surprisingly like not scared by it because there is some like pretty scary imagery in that movie. Um, but he loves Jack. He doesn't refer to it as The Nightmare Before Christmas, but he refers to it as Jack. He says, "Watch Jack." And he sings along with all the songs. I'm not gonna sing the songs obviously because YouTube is kind of particular about copyrighted music, even if you're singing it. Um, I realize you guys have been watching me just like scribble for 5 minutes. I hope that's okay. I'm probably gonna move on to one more drawing, and I'm doing like an actual stream tonight, which is just good. I'm excited about the new lighting, which I mean, it looks like it's a lot clearer. So, um, but it's like a lot easier on my eyes too than having to look at this like really disgusting yellow light. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it makes me feel super good when people like get inspired to draw by watching me draw. If that, I mean, it's, shit. If that works for you, then awesome. So I'm glad you guys are appreciating the new setup because, I mean, I got a good ass deal. I went to Michael's because Michael's always has surprisingly good deals if you get the coupons. They don't have a huge selection of like really fine taste art supplies, but all the basic stuff you need you can get there, and they have a coupon like every week. And I thought you said you were going to bed.
I lied. Look.
What's that? Oh, he's like wrapped up.
No.
Oh, he's in the pillow.
He shoved him. Wait, can they see this?
Are you okay?
Look at our son shoved himself into a pillowcase instead of using his blankets. Can you believe that?
Absolutely, I can believe that.
Look.
I saw it. You just keep shoving the same picture into my face. Okay. Yeah, my son has apparently shoved himself into a pillowcase to fall asleep, which is actually really hilarious. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, question. Somebody asked, did I draw the "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" drawings by choice? I absolutely did. I love that series. I love it. And I just recently watched the 5th installment of it and got inspired to do some fan art because I've never done "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" fan art before.
I need a tummy tuck. Okay. Good night, Mom. Night.
Good night. Yeah, I do wanna draw. That's nice. I'm glad you noticed that. Yeah. I probably will draw the other characters. I've drawn the. I don't know if there's like official names for these guys. I haven't like. I'm not. I don't know if they have like a fandom or whatever. I wouldn't say that I'm a part of it. I'm certainly a fan, but I don't know everything about it. Like if the characters have names. I just refer to them as Red Guy, Yellow Guy, and Crow. That's how I know them. But yeah, I probably will do. I want to do like an actual, like maybe a print of "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared." I had this really cool idea for like a crazy, like distorted perspective shot of like looking down from above on the table, like in the first episode when they're doing all the like the creepy creative stuff, like rolling the heart and glitter, and there's like a pie filled with meat. of like having all the characters doing creepy stuff on a table in like this cool distorted perspective. It's like I have it in my head, I just need to actually do it. Oh, red guy, bird guy, and yellow guy are their names. So I guess that's, I mean, makes sense. But yeah, I think so. I think eventually when I get like some free time, I'll do that. And if there's a big demand, I'll certainly, um, I'll certainly make a print of it so you guys can get it. Yeah, I recently learned about that people ship the clock and the notepad, which I mean, I feel when it comes to shipping things, people just ship the most ridiculous stuff just for the sake of it. So, I guess so. If you're into that thing, I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, I'm not one to judge. But here's not Mickey Mouse hat wearing girl with big ears. Her ears look smaller because her hat has such big ears. I totally meant to do that. Or not. Maybe not. I just say I did. Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe I'm just a little bit before that time of fandoms and shipping and all that stuff, but I would say that I watch from a distance too. I wouldn't say I subscribe to any like fandoms or anything like that. One cool thing about drawing on canvas board is that you can sign it with a big ass marker on the back and not worry about it like bleeding through or anything, as you would with any other paper. Yeah. Cool, so I hope you guys like that. And once again, if you want to buy this, it's $45. And I'll send it to you. I had another one too that I did prior, which you may or may not have seen. This one, this girl with like horns all around her head, sticking her tongue out at you. There's like dog ghosts flying around in the background. Yeah, $45 too for this one if you want. If you want to get both of them, you can have them for $80 for both. So yeah, email me if you're interested in that, or just like, I don't know, like tweet me. Yeah, I try to take most of my payments through PayPal because that's what's convenient for me. But if you have something else that works for you, like, I'm willing to be flexible. Perfect. Also, I wanted to mention before about the sketchbooks. When I sell the original sketchbooks, I also try to be flexible with people about payment because I know $350 is a big chunk to pay beforehand. But to pay all at one time. So usually I ask when people buy sketchbooks that they put some sort of deposit down, like 50 or $100, and then you can do like a payment plan if you want. And as soon as it's paid off, I ship it to you. And yes, thank you, Maddie, for catching that. Those were on canvas board. So it's kind of a, I don't know, like if I sell all of these, I've got one more canvas board to fill up. So if I sell all of them, then maybe I'll do more of them. But if they don't sell, I probably won't be drawing on canvas board all that much in the future. So the future depends on you. If you want to see more stuff on canvas board, buy stuff. Buy stuff from me, please. Okay, so this is my thumbnail. If you guys like, I usually work off of rough thumbnails when I draw straight to ink, and this is my thumbnail, so you can see that there's like absolutely no detail. The request here is that I drew a quote chubby style character. So that's what I'm gonna do. And the reference given was the anime Supersonico, which I have not seen, but I looked up some reference for. So I'm going to draw something based on that. And see how it goes. Think about it a little bit. I'm definitely going to draw headphones, because I guess that's a thing. And I'm not going to try to like do like I'm basically like just doing a character that's inspired by it. I'm not doing like any of the actual characters. Yeah, I don't know, like I honestly hadn't heard about it until today. Well, when I got the request, which was a little while ago, but yeah, I don't know a lot about it, so don't think I'm like a huge fan or know anything. I've only seen two of the characters I think I looked up online. I don't even remember their names, to be honest. But I'm definitely the kind of person who will give anything a chance. Like I'll never just take something at face value and say that I don't like it. With some exceptions that prove the rule, but like based on this anime, what I've seen, the visuals of it, I would assume that I wouldn't like it. But if somebody's like, "No, it's great. You should really give it a chance," I'll totally give it a chance. I'll give it like 15 minutes. Because if I don't like something within 15 minutes, there's a pretty good chance that I won't like it. But there have been a few things that, at face value, I look at and say, "Oh, I won't like that," and I end up liking it. Yeah, definitely saw a lot of boobies when I looked this up. So there's gonna be boobies and headphones, boobies and headphones. That's pretty much my first impression. If you're a fan and I somehow offended you, I'm not trying to offend you. I just really don't know anything about this. But I mean, I could see why people like it. I'm guessing, and once again, just a guess, that's probably pretty light on the story and heavy on the boobies. And some people like that. I like that. Just not, that can't be it. Like boobies are fine. You can put boobies in anything. I'll never say no to boobies, but like at least there's got to be like some story. If there's this like crazy, complex, really super interesting story in Super Sonico, then correct me if I'm wrong. I gotta be careful about this because the way you position the neck, if you start with the head, where you put the neck can mean a lot. And I'm considering having her hair go over her shoulder, so but I don't know. It's like tucked. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if she's got bangs or what's going on. Uh, hmm. Hmm. I don't know, guys. Well, if she's got more hair going on, if I decide to add more hair, then it's going to be going behind her back. Because I'm going to have her... I don't know if there's guns in Supersonico, but usually when I don't know what to do with a character, I just give them a gun. So she's going to have a gun. Once again, it's inspired by, not in the canon universe of Supersonico, so... I don't know, I might kind of like reverse her stance a little bit. Just because of the way I drew the neck. I'm just gonna give her the thumbnail. And just wing it. It's too late now. Can't go back. I mean, as a marketing strategy of just based on the boobies, I would probably watch this. I'm not even gonna lie. But I'm gonna do like a Merrick Jaraki style, a big booby lady, which means what? Band-aids. If you guessed band-aids before I said band-aids, you wins. Self-satisfaction for knowing the right answer. And also approval from me. Good job, person, for knowing the answer. You did it. I don't know if it's like readily apparent that I'm super tired, because I'm super tired. Band-aids on the boobies. Because, okay, so in Merrick's canon head, if you are a half-naked girl, half-naked girl, and you're like, you have a gun, and you're fighting people, you're gonna get lots of cuts. That's why my girls have so many bandages on, because they normally don't have enough clothes on for like fighting and doing the kind of things that they're doing, like holding guns and swords and stuff. Especially, it's like super bad idea to be naked with a sword. Like if it's just like a properly sharpened sword, if you just like brush against it the wrong way, it's gonna cut you. So yeah, you're gonna get cuts on your tatas or your boobies or whatever you want to call them. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of on autopilot right now, but it's working for me. I feel like if I just keep talking, then I won't have to face what I'm drawing. It'll just happen naturally. No, I mean I'm not against naked sword fighting. I think it's great. I think there's like a level of like badassery to like sword fighting naked that's like super cool. Um, but I mean, I'm just trying to be realistic. That's why that's why the girls I draw have so many band-aids on, because they're not careful with sharp objects. Somebody asked. I think it was on. Yeah, it would require a high level of skill. Totally would. I think it was on Instagram. I want to say on that drawing I was just talking about, where the girl's like hanging out with the bug guy, and she's like leaning on katanas and all that, and she's doesn't have a shirt on, and somebody's like, well, why are her breasts exposed? Just I think just simply like that. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. And I haven't answered yet because I haven't had time to like get on Instagram and like go through all the comments and stuff. But I mean, I'm just one of those people that's like, they're boobies. Like men have them too. It's really not something that I think should be considered like immodest or sexual to like not be wearing a shirt. Because I feel like saying, like, well, men take their shirts off all the time and expose their nipples, and nobody thinks twice about it. But for some reason in our society, women's breasts are considered nudity. Like it's not socially acceptable for women to be walking around like without shirt on. At least, if you were to ask most people. But like I just have the opinion that it's just like it's just a body, and it shouldn't be a thing. Like it shouldn't be an issue that we have to still confront. I think that whatever you feel comfortable with is what you should be doing. Yeah, either everybody has to wear a shirt or nobody has to wear a shirt. That's totally fair. Like you can't discriminate. What am I doing here, guys? Yeah, doing it. I have to like really think about it sometimes. Yeah, I'm just gonna like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It might be like super annoying to hear me talk about how lost I am right now, but yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with it. That I have taken like live drawing classes and stuff, and I really don't. You're not sitting there in live drawing class and be like, oh my gosh, like boobs, like it's totally, it's a great example of an experience where, it's not a sexual thing at all, and nobody involved in the situation sees it as a sexual thing. Because it totally isn't. Like it's just the body. Everybody's got a body, and we shouldn't really be as ashamed of it as we can be at times. I've got lots of great stories about doing life drawing and stuff. There are always like so many cool models. Like there's this old guy that always bring in like prop weapons like swords and like old, they're all props. Like I said, they're all fake, but like replica rifles and stuff, like old muskets to like model with, and it was always super fun to draw because it was like the kind of life drawing experience that I wanted. And I do feel like it's fairly common for there to be that person in a life drawing class that, acts like it's, has an issue with it, acts like it's like a sexual thing. And I only experienced that like once, briefly. Like I'm not saying it was me. It wasn't me, but somebody in the class like made a comment or something. I don't really recall what it was, but the teacher promptly took them out and lectured them. So it didn't happen again after that. But I mean, who knows? Maybe this person you're talking about had never seen boobs before. Because that's like totally inappropriate. I mean, to be like, because you're like openly acknowledging, that the person is naked, and you're making it weird. Don't make it weird. This drawing's not terrible. It's not great. Not exactly what I had in mind, but it's not bad. This arm mostly is wonky, but I can totally correct it by doing this. Yeah, it's not cool to make it weird. Alright, let's get the white out in here. Yeah. Honestly, vast majority of people are super respectful, and the models are all very respectful. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I only ever had good experiences doing live drawing. And it's like you just have to be, respectful of the individual, because some people are comfortable, like, talking to you and stuff, and like looking at your drawings. Other models are, they're probably just trying to make a buck, and they don't really want to acknowledge the situation, and you have to be respectful of that. You have to be very sensitive, and like, never go there unless the model goes there first, and then, just be respectful, because this person is putting their body out there for you to learn from and to study. You should be respectful of that. Extremely respectful and thankful. Like there was one of the things I remember was there was one model, and they were doing some like pretty intense poses, like some interesting like action poses where they have most of their weight shifted onto one leg or something like that. And I don't know if most people probably haven't done this, because it's not something you really do in normal day-to-day activity, unless you do like certain aerobics or like yoga, where you stand in a pose where you shift all of your weight onto like one leg. Doing that for 5-10 minutes at a time can get really painful. And so there was one model that was doing poses like that, and they started like, you could see their legs starting to shake, that they were clearly uncomfortable, and they like, they almost like stumbled, like they kind of broke the pose and like fell onto their leg, because they were tired and it probably hurt, and they had to catch their weight. And somebody in the class made a comment, just offhand, like, "Oh, come on," like I was right in the middle of this, they said, like, made like an exasperated noise, and it was just like, you could see the model was like upset by it, and like that's not cool either. This is not my best drawing, guys. This is not my best drawing, but it's okay. It's not my worst drawing either. I can totally do better. Shit, there's all sorts of like weird tangents and stuff going on with this piece. I may make like a second attempt at it. This is already in the sketchbook, so it's not going anywhere, but I may try to do another one, just because I'm not happy with it, and I don't want to end the stream on like something I'm unhappy with. So I'll just slap some more band-aids on here. Do her face. Well, thank you if you like it. I have my own criticisms of my work, so I'm not saying it's bad and you shouldn't like it. Because if you like it, then thank you very much. I appreciate it. it's really not. It's really not that bad. The issues I have with it are minor ones. It takes an immense amount of strength to hold those poses. To hold any pose for 5 minutes or more. I'd say try it, especially if you've gone to life drawing class before. Just try it, like at home in your room or something, just so you can like identify with them a little bit and like kind of have an insight to their experience, and you'll respect them all the more for it. One of my teachers told me that. To like try doing it, and then you just value the experience a lot more, I think. And you can do, if I thought about this the other day after talking about college at one point, and specifically like getting practice doing life drawing. If you're interested in getting practice doing life drawing and don't necessarily want to like sign up for like a college degree or anything like that, like there are normally, like, if at local community colleges, they offer figure drawing. You can sign up for your community college and just do that one class. You don't have to be like working towards a degree or anything. Just sign up for that one class and get some experience life drawing. There are also some places that will offer life drawing sessions for just like a flat fee. You don't have to worry about like being good or anything. Just go there and draw and like get practice drawing the human body. It's totally invaluable. And if you're gonna be serious, especially as like a comic book artist, it's something that I totally recommend you doing, because guess what? You're drawing comic books, unless you're drawing something like me, where I'm drawing a bunch of animals. Like, you're gonna be drawing a lot of people like over and over and over, and you want to be able to draw them in a variety of different poses. So getting that experience is super valuable. And even like, don't get me wrong, even the stuff I'm doing with my comic book, that's all the animal characters, a lot of them, like, I'm still using my figure drawing knowledge to do that stuff. Like just drawing like natural poses in general translates that way. So I forgot to mention that last time I was on the stream, so I'm mentioning it now. Because those resources are totally available, so you should check them out. I'm gonna do some squiggles. If you know me, I like to do squiggles. And if you like squiggles, then boy, are you in the right place. But hey, I might as well say something while I've got nothing better to say. Thanks for coming by. If you haven't heard me say thank you yet, thank you. Appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. As always, if you're new or haven't heard this before, feel free to ask questions. If you guys want to know about like a pen or something like that, don't hesitate to ask. I like to answer questions. Give me something to talk about. And if you pose a question on the screen and like I don't address it within a few minutes, then just put it back up there, because likely I was focusing on the paper or something and I didn't see it. Like drawing those squiggles. Maybe I'll draw a slightly more clothed, curvy lady for the next one. I like drawing curvy ladies. Curvy ladies are fun to draw. That was one thing about life drawing, is like it's always like it's interesting to draw, someone who's classically considered to have like an attractive body, but it's like 100 times more interesting to draw somebody who's got like a visually interesting body. Like, like I hate to say super old, but like super old people who have like wrinkly bodies and like their bone, you can see their bones through their skin and stuff. Like it's so interesting to draw that stuff. It's just both any type of body is enjoyable to draw for its own reasons, but I really like drawing like people who look like like they've been through some stuff. No, I've never. I don't think I've ever. No, well, I don't. I know I've never done fan art of Soul Eater. Not. I know I've heard of it. I don't know really anything about it. And the prerequisite for doing fan art is being a fan of something. And I don't really know anything about it, so I don't know. Maybe. Maybe someday. You never know. Never know. Alright, so might as well do, like I have an idea. I'm going to do a little thumbnail. You guys can see my thumbnailing process. Because normally I don't show the thumbnailing process, but I'll do it this time because I want to have like a slightly stronger idea this time of what I'm actually going to draw. So start with the box. See the box? It's a nice box. A little wiggly, but it's fine. I'm thinking of doing an outfit like Theo from Metal Slug. I get a lot of inspiration from like the high-waisted cargo shorts and stuff. But with just like a super like awesome curvy girl. Some powerful thighs. Maybe I'll do, I don't know, let's see if he's getting the idea here. He's got like some tights on or something. I don't know. And just some boobies. Let's get some boobies in there. Almost looking like Lara Croft right now. That's okay. It's collared shirt. She's like walking through the jungle or something. Obviously, like what else? And she's gonna have a backwards hat on because she's cool. And I can't put, like I have one arm going like back into the distance because I don't want to draw it. And then another one have like coming forward with fist. That. Boom. Boom. Okay. Put that off to the side. And so, with that thumbnail fresh in my mind, I kind of know where I'm going to start. That's kind of the idea. That's the idea behind doing a thumbnail. It's like just be, because like visualizing something in your head and actually putting it on paper is totally different. So if you're wanting to draw something straight to ink, like it's really good to draw a thumbnail ahead of time because you're still drawing straight to ink. You know, you're not inking over a sketch or anything, but like you're kind of translating it from your brain, which is like the way you remember and see things in your brain is like totally intangible, not really measurable. It's always going to look a little bit different on paper. So it's good to like kind of get it on paper first to kind of see how it's going to work practically, and then go from there. And with powerful thighs come powerful calves. Also important. Pardon me while I wet my whistle. Pen is starting to skip on me. That's getting annoying. It happens though. Still trying to keep this super loose, even though I've done a thumbnail already. You guys any got... that came out all wrong. You guys have any cool plans for this weekend? I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. Getting some work done. Got stuff to do. That's exciting, I guess. Man, this pen right now is killing me. Oh man, that comes out this weekend, huh? Oh, I forgot. I think it's CTRE. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Totally forgot that comes out this weekend. Oh boy, I might have to change my plans. I might not get anything done this weekend because I have to go see Spectre. I love James Bond. I actually really like the new James Bond. I've talked to quite a few people actually who are big fans of James Bond and don't like the new movies. With referring to the movies with Daniel Craig, of course. Star Wars marathon. Oh, that's always fun to watch with somebody who hasn't seen Star Wars because I mean they're so rare nowadays. And this pen is just not wanting to give me a solid line. Oh well. Those are both really exciting things. Yeah, I'm like really looking forward to watching Star Wars with my son for the first time. That's gonna be a fun experience. And I'm so excited for the new James Bond movie. I really do like Daniel Craig as James Bond. I don't think there's any prerequisites for being James Bond, other than you just have to be able to pull off being James Bond. I don't think appearance really matters that much. It's more the demeanor. So I think it's super silly when people are like, oh, well, Daniel Craig can't be James Bond because he's blonde. Well, Roger Moore was technically a brunette. and he was a pretty good Bond. He did a couple of really good movies. He wasn't the best Bond by any means, but because I mean, Sean Connery was the best Bond. I think everybody knows that. Oh yeah, can't wait for that. Can't wait for The Force Awakens. It's gonna be so cool. Yeah, yeah. Idris Elba would be. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, by the way. Um, I think Idris Elba would be a fantastic James Bond because of the demeanor. You have to be suave, you have to be badass, and you have to be able to pull off that whole like, I'm the most amazing spy in the entire universe demeanor, because that's totally what James Bond is. Like just to be like cool under pressure, like at all costs. I don't know. It's hard to like quantify James Bond. You just have to be able to be James Bond. That's it. So I say poo-poo to people who think Idris Elba wouldn't be a good James Bond or Daniel Craig isn't a good James Bond. I think does he? I think he has one more to do after Spectre. I think. I'm not sure of the details of his contract, but I think he has one more to do. I don't know. It's like the James Bond timeline is so convoluted. It's like it's really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Because like there's some overarching like timelines and consistent like plot threads and stuff, but like for the most part, you can pretty much make a James Bond movie and not really worry about the time frame. And it's pretty universal. I was thinking about starting to talk about like the timeline of like Skyfall and where everything happens on like the James Bond timeline in relevance to like the older movies and stuff, but I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. Yeah, Tom Hardy? Yeah, I don't think he. I don't know. I mean, he might be able to pull it off. I'd say it'd be a coin toss. But yeah, I think maybe his typecast is a little too hot-headed, probably. I don't know. I guess I just couldn't see him as Bond. I bet he could give a good go at it, but I just right now I can't see it. I also don't I don't think he would do it. I feel like he maybe would know that maybe I wouldn't be the best Bond. And I do like some Tom Hardy. So I don't know what's going on with this drawing either. Meh. I like it though. I like it. I'm not sure where I'm going with it, but I like it. Yeah, I think I'd have to agree. I think I have to agree. I do like Tom Hardy, but I just can't see him as Bond. I like how you refer to the my collective Periscope viewership as chat. I think that's funny. I have to start doing that. Hello, chat. I feel like I'm talking to like some like supercomputer from like an '80s TV show that's like some like crazy acronym that's like a really forced acronym. I think those are so funny. Like when clearly the acronym is forced because you wanted to give something like a cool nickname. Or like the acronym, it's like super, but it's like so people, something that's a really bad example, but yeah, it's like forced acronyms are so funny. When like you start doing O as like of the and stuff like that, it's like meh. Naming conventions and like media like comic books and TV shows I think are just like so funny. Like one thing that really grinds my gears is like Gears of War is a great example where like everything has a cool sounding nickname. Like the Locust and like the Ripper, like the gun is called like the Ripper. Like everything has like a cool extreme name and I'm like, "Oh my god, like nobody would call it that." I call it like oh, my well, I don't call it. I can't take credit for it because it was one of my friends. One of my friends referred to that kind of naming conventions as like apocalypse slang because it's always like in the apocalypse genre that people give things like cool sounding nicknames, like like instead of saying the Z word in a zombie movie, you call them like walkers or like stumblies or just like silly stuff like that where they're just clearly trying to like sound cool. Like it just makes me take it even less serious. Yeah, I think stumblies is probably like the best ironic name for zombies. And like Left 4 Dead, the game Left 4 Dead, as much as I love it, as much as I love Left 4 Dead, um, like the nicknames for the infected are perfect examples of this like apocalypse slang. Uh, like boomer, spitter, witch, tank, like they even try to like write it into the character dialogue where like, like every once in a while the characters will be like, I don't know, this like spitter thing, where that's like that's like the origin of the spitter name. But yeah, in that game, like it was over the top and it was campy, so it worked in a way. I'm just using it as an example. But yeah, I've always thought that was super funny. Like I don't know, in our culture, if zombies were to become a real thing, I fully believe that if it were confirmed that people were, dying and coming back to life, um, like we would refer to them as zombies. I mean, what else? The only other one I can see that like is that works is infected. Like that would infected and zombies would both be realistic things. Zombies because of all of the pop culture references to zombies, and infected because that's what they actually are. They're humans that are infected with some sort of something. So I think that even if it's been done before, now I would call them stumblies, but if they were slow, if they were like slow Romero zombies, I'd call them stumblies. Um, yeah, but because that makes sense. So my advice is if you're writing a story or making a game with zombies, like don't call them something crazy, ridiculous. Call them what you think they would realistically be called. That's what I would do. Because otherwise you risk people not taking it seriously. When it's the main antagonist, is this infection, and people aren't taking it seriously because of the name, you're kind of like, you're removing all the suspension of disbelief from your story, and kind of like undermining the peril you would want to create in a story, the sense of peril, rather, that you would want to create in a story like that. So, like, what's in a name? Quite a bit. I always think about that. That's like something I really strive to avoid in my stories, is naming conventions like that. Yeah, Stumblies. I don't think I'll ever live that down, and I'm okay with that. If that's my legacy, then that's cool. I gotta draw this face eventually. I don't know, like, normally I don't do this, but I've been doing it a lot lately where I wait till the last minute to draw the face. I don't know. I don't know why I do it. I don't know why I do the things I do sometimes. I feel like this entire stream can be summed up with me just being like, I don't know. Just over and over. For like the duration. I'm just gonna kind of like blend this hand into the background here. Sound, yeah, that's a great summary for the cliff notes of this stream. Eric talked about boobs. He drew some boobs. Talked about zombies. Didn't draw any zombies. And then the stream ended. I'm gonna shade these tights in a little bit, just to give them some like different texture from the rest of the drawing. I need to get this pen moving again. Get this pen working, so it's like skipping on me. The high-tech C's, I absolutely love these pens, but they do have chronic issues with skipping, and like some pens will do it, and some won't. And like I don't know exactly what it is that causes it, but sometimes when they start skipping like this, when they're doing it a lot, you kind of just have to sit there and scribble with it, just like constantly for like a couple minutes, and it'll like, I don't know, get like a good ink flow going again, because this pen started getting like, just starting to get like dry. It's really annoying when that happens. But also, sometimes when I draw really fast with these pens, like sometimes it seems like the ink flow can't keep up, especially with the smaller ones, because the ink is coming through such like a small opening. If you hear me over here, I'm like scribbling on another piece of paper to try to get it flowing again. It's just not happening for me. Oh well. I like drawing people with like serpent eyes. I don't know what else to refer to that to. That sentence didn't make sense. I don't know how else to refer to that So like drawing like little, like, vertical lines for pupils. Just call them like serpent eyes. I feel like snakes might find that really racist, but sorry snakes. For all the snakes in my audience, I apologize. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just being ignorant. So if any of you that have like pet snakes that are within earshot, try to explain the situation to them. And I don't mean anything by it. With the goal of, sensitivity in mind, if you could ask your snakes what they would prefer that I refer to them as, or refer to the way their eyes look. Just let me know. Just let me know. I'm open. No, I'm liking this. I like this drawing. I'm happy with this drawing. Alright guys, time for the fun part. Time to draw grass. Oh, this pen, guys. This pen's killing me. It's really grinding my gears. Let's make this go quick. It's like sometimes it's affected by like how you hold the pen too. Like if you hold it straight up and down like this, then the ink flows a lot better. Maddening, I tell you. Maddening. When the pen just won't work the way you want. I love drawing grass. Just drawing like little scribblies like this is it is super like cathartic. It's just really soothing. So for those of you who mentioned like, they just like the sound of like hearing my pen scratch around on the paper, like I totally get it. Because I get the same feeling from drawing it. Them scribblies. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Just scribble. Just scribble in random places. I feel like I can't go wrong with the scribbling. I was actually just reading the other night about ASMR. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. I think I can't remember what it stands for. Awesome sounds. Man? Really? That's not what it stands for, but I don't remember what it stands for. It's like something sensory meridian response. I actually read something about it quite some time ago, and like always meant to watch those like videos that are meant to trigger it, because I suspect that I have it or have experienced it before. I always get this like, and I'm pretty sure this is what it is. I need to do some more research, but I always get this like tingly feeling if you rub a cardboard box in the right way, and this makes this really like weird scratchy sound. It like gives me like chills down my spine. And from what I understand, that's pretty much what ASMR is, or at least one of the responses you can get. is like chills, basically. Basically feels like chills. But people describe it as like a pleasurable experience, like it being almost euphoric. And the feeling I get when people, like when I hear like scratching on cardboard, and it's like a really, like I can't describe it. It's like if you rub two pieces of like uncoated cardboard together. Like the sound it would make, like, would give me chills. But I've always kind of thought of it in like like it always felt kind of unpleasant to me. So like I've kind of been interested in like looking more into it to see if it's, I actually, experience ASMR, or it's like I just don't like that noise. Because that's totally possible too. But I don't know, like, people seem to get it from like a multitude of different sounds and a multitude of different responses. So it's something that's really hard to like quantify. It's like what synesthesia was, like, I don't know, pre-90s, because I'm pretty sure it was in the 90s that they finally developed a method to like measure people who have synesthesia. And if you don't know what that is, it's people that like get really strong visuals and can essentially like see colors. They see visual representation of colors, which I sadly do not have, but I wish I did. But they actually, I don't know what the test is, but there's some sort of test they have now, so that you can tell if you have it or not. Or they basically just, found a way to define it. Because it's hard to describe synesthesia to somebody that doesn't have it, that doesn't experience it. And I think ASMR is the same way. And with there being so many different ways that you can trigger it, some people who have ASMR are triggered by, like the example you give, like the sound of styrofoam, like rubbing against styrofoam, and other people who have ASMR aren't triggered by styrofoam, but are instead triggered by like whispering voices is another trigger. But there's so many like amazing things about the human mind and the way it responds to stimuli that I think there's always going to be some new thing that, like, somebody's like, oh, well, I can smell numbers. And people will be like, what? But, like, how often are you going to bring up that you can smell numbers if you think it's normal to you? Like, that's a crazy example, obviously, but, like, I feel like as we evolve, these things are changing, and the way our bodies work and our minds work is constantly changing. So it's hard to like keep up with that kind of stuff, especially when it's things that are hard to quantify. But I'll save the lengthy chat that I could possibly get into about that and just probably call it a night. This is a pretty nice drawing. I like how this drawing turned out. Even though my pen wasn't cooperating with me the whole time, I think I achieved what I wanted to achieve with this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for coming by and asking questions and hanging out and putting up with my crazy rambling and all that stuff. So I hope to see you next time. And I'm like, don't quote me because I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure I am going to start a giveaway tomorrow. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should probably go do that, because you pretty much have to be following me. Usually when I do giveaways, I basically just make the rules like repost any of my work with a certain hashtag, which gets my work out, which is a benefit of the giveaway, and makes it easy to search with a hashtag, because without using a hashtag, like a specific hashtag, I have no way of really like making a list of people that enter. So that's the best way to do it. So yeah, it's probably gonna be tomorrow. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, head over to Instagram and just search for Merrick Jaraki, and you'll find me. And I'll probably post that tomorrow. I'll probably also do a giveaway, on Twitter as well. So if you follow me there, you can check it out. It's gonna be some original artwork. I got I think I'm gonna do like 2 larger pieces, a handful of postcards, and a bunch of
bunch of copies of my short comic, Mother Made Us to Die. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Probably tomorrow. Not for sure, but probably. So yeah, anyway, spiel over. Thanks for stopping by. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one.